All right, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, I am doing another video to explain um, the meditation that I did earlier this tonight, which technically was yesterday because it's already into the early and wee hours of the third day of October, your Saturday morning. So Friday night, I should say, I felt the need to go into my altar room and I felt the need to work with some spirits. And like I said in my last video, the one on Uranamius, I went into my altar room and I was going to work with him, but I ended up putting on my ritual robes and lighting the candles, the incense, and I put on a demonic end to Satan. And you can find that on YouTube, by the way. You know, right here on YouTube, just go on, type in demonic ends, and you can find just about any kind of demonic end that you need or want. Okay. In some cases, you can literally set them for repeated playing, which means you can go from one entity to another, to another, to another. Lately, for some reason, you're only choosing one, and then it'll go to somebody else's and someone else's instead of just one um, author or founder of these ends. Okay. So, like I said, I went in, I lit the candles, put on the incense, and while the charcoal was burning down before I placed the cover over the thurible, the burn pot, I went over and I put on my robes and I stepped into the circle of empowerment, and immediately I felt a pull towards my altar. I didn't know exactly what to expect. I had the intention of invoking Uranamius, but I wanted to start off with the higher ups. And by higher ups, I'm talking Satan, I'm talking Asmodeus, I'm talking King Belial. Okay. And most importantly, the Blighton. But unfortunately, I didn't get to the Blighton, but I got the sense that they knew that they were always going to be welcome in no matter what type of meditation or ritual that I perform because I've always linked them to to my altar room, to my ritual chamber, and gave them free reign basically. So they can come and go as they please, just like any of these demons, these demonic lords. So, anyways, I was sitting there. I put myself into a meditative state, concentrating on my breathing. And like I said, I was feeling this pull towards the altar. You don't really get that pull that very often. Normally, it's a sinking feeling or a spinning sensation, almost like the disc of a black hole, or a tornado looking down into it, like a funnel effect. But this was literally a pull towards my altar. I found it really weird because, for one, I don't get that very often. It's like once in a blue moon. But in this case, I was concentrating on my breathing, listening to the music, the demonic end, which was about 30 minutes, give or take a couple of minutes. letting the incense and the candles burn, the scents of dragon's blood, lavender, patchouli, and myrrh filling the altar room. I felt really drawn into myself all of a sudden. And even though my eyes were closed, it was like a ball of energy, this pure white light came from my right to the center, and then it acted like it was coming towards me. But yet, as I told a satanic brother of mine, when I revealed this to him after the fact, with actual photos, by the way, that were being taken during this ritual, this meditative invocation, it was like that light was trying to penetrate but couldn't do. It was like it was going up against a wall of darkness where it could not enter. But yet I was completely relaxed. It was not threatened by it. I didn't know what that was. I didn't really understand what it was, but I saw this black robed figure. The face was all black. It was literally all black, almost like a net was over the face. You know, one of those fencing type coverings. And then in gold or bronze colored, I saw this rune I've never seen before. But I had the sensation that I wasn't alone in this chamber. So after it was all said and done, the altar room literally was bright and then it just got dark. It was like it went from a white light, atmosphere to this kind of the best way I can describe it to you would be when you look at a stick of butter, okay? You know how yellow butter or cheese can get, especially that of, say, sharp cheddar, okay? That color right there is how this my altar room literally went. It went from as white as this shirt to that color in almost a blink of the eye. I hadn't even noticed that it went from this to that. But when I came out of that meditative state, I felt the urge to reach out. I reached out to, like I said, my brother, and I sent him the photos of the altar and then the ones of me. The first thing he said was, I sense we're like 40, we're like 4,000 kilometers away from each other. And he said, I can feel the power radiating from these photos. And then he came back and he hit me with this fun fact. You have three spirits there with you, two of which I recognize, and one of them I don't. My reply to him was it angelic or demonic? He said, definitely demonic. Now, I found it interesting because he's also working with a couple of these spirits himself. So that's probably why he and I were linked to this meditation, because of the fact, and why I was drawn to him, to reach out to him, because of the fact that, number one, you have King Belial. On the second spirit was Asmodeus. Okay, but that third spirit, he didn't recognize, because he hadn't worked with that spirit yet. But I have. But I didn't even recognize him either. Only to find out that when he realized who the spirit was, it turned out he had been working with this spirit. Now, I haven't worked with this spirit in a couple of years now, since I started working with the spirits of the Mazajira. But like I said, I came out and I drew the seal. Okay? I'm going to bring it up so you could actually see it. That's what I saw. And keep in mind, it's mirror image. Okay? Everything was pointing to my right. These points were pointing to my rights. Now, the main outline reminded me of a Norse rune, again, linking him to European, Middle Eastern folklore. And like I said, when we realized who this third spirit was, I told him, I said, I'm actually delving back into the demonology and mythology of this being. And I'm also going to look into the other one that he is ranked with, Satanistia. Okay. And I probably just butchered that general's name, because I've never worked with that one. I've never worked with this one. But yet both of these are viewed as generals in some context, whereas he's the keeper of, where they're basically underlings of Lucifer, and most importantly, Lucifer's Raphael, the ancient pact maker and scribe. So here, like I said, Aguilaret is in some cases viewed as a general. In other cases, he's the keeper of the sacred tomes. He is the one that can reveal the hidden gnosis, the hidden texts. And he's also one that Humet or Humot, depending on the grimoire and the era to which his name is spoken of, the infernal librarian answers to. Because Aguilaret is known as the keeper of the secret tomes, the secret things that he can reveal. Now, I found it interesting that Aguilaret is also a Jewish demonology. He's in this Jewish demonology, um, which probably means he's associated with the Jewish Haggadah, okay? Perhaps even the Talmud, okay? Now, here, I'm going to delve back in and start working with this spirit again. I'm going to do some more research on this spirit, because I have never seen this seal. I've seen a wide range of seals to Aguilaret, one of which can be found in the Complete Book of Demonology by S. Connolly. Others, you can go into the Grimorium Vernum, a treatise of Solomon, and the Grand Grimoire, otherwise known as the True Grimoire. Okay? These three texts really speak to Aguilaret. And luckily for me, I actually own them. Okay? Or at least copies of them. So I'm going to be delving into them tomorrow or later today. And I'm going to look forward to this because, one, I haven't worked with this spirit in a while. Like I said, it's been at least 2, 3 years, if not 4, since the last time I worked with his spirit. So the fact that he's reaching out to me with Asmodeus and King Belial, that tells me that something is up and they really need my attention on this. So I'm going to delve into this and I'm going to see where it takes me to see what they're trying to reveal to me. And you know me, I love research. I really do. I love to research things and I love to do rituals. It doesn't matter if it's blood rituals or ceremonial rituals, it does not matter. Magic is magic to me, and working with spirits is an honor, especially when they choose to work with you. That is something you don't get, you cannot buy. That is something that you earn. That is a right that you earn to be able to do, is to work with these spirits and to have them work with you. So to have their trust enough that they're willing to reach out to you on something, that tells me that something's up. So I'm looking forward to this. All right. I will keep you up to date on this one as well, just like the information on Uranamius. Okay. But I do, on another note, I do find it interesting that King Belial was actually one of these spirits because, as you know, I just wrapped up the 9 kings of the Goetia. The first one was King Belial. King Belial. So the fact that I just did all that research and all that, you know, those 9 videos just on them alone and gave you a little bit of my dealings with him. And now here he is with Asmodeus, another king, and now the keeper of the secrets, the keeper of the sacred tomes, a general is coming to me and walking with me, sharing their presence in my altar room with me. Yeah, you bet your ass. I'm going to be delving into this and finding out why, what's up, and how can I help them? Because that's something that I'm really wanting to do. So, have a good night, and until next time, have a good one.